Right now, we're going to talk a little Sean McVay. He was introduced today as their new head coach of the LA Rams. We know that. He's 30 years old. He was asked today what makes him qualified to be the aforementioned youngest head coach in league history.
Yeah, I think it's simple, Omar. When you really look at it, going back to some of the people that have been instrumental in my development, I think it's by being around great coaches and mentors. Those guys that were willing to invest in me, the John Grudens, Bruce Allen, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, and then being able to work for Jay over the last couple of years. That's helped accelerate my career where you certainly know, hey, you are confident, you're ready for this opportunity, but it's not about me. It's about surrounding yourself with great people on all levels of the organization and coaching staff. That's why look at some of the people that we will acquire on our staff, be veteran leaders that I can lean on and know that don't have it all figured out, but we're confident that we can navigate through the things that we'll face together.
B-Mac, I was in Washington, D.C. when he got hired under that Shanahan staff. Yep. And I remember even then, this was the young wonder kid. Well, now, we didn't know that 4 years later he'd be the youngest head coach at the age of 30, but he was brought up with that kind of, wow, this guy's got the gold star over his head, and we have big things planned for him. As that youngest head coach, hiring a guy like Wade Phillips to be his DC, is this smart, and how important is it to have somebody who's been there, done that, been a head coach in Denver, been a head coach in Dallas, to say, you know what, I got this, you handle that?
It's very, very smart from McVay, understanding that, yes, I'm touching unfamiliar territory, but I need to have people surrounding me that have been here before. Wade Phillips, your job is to worry about the defense.
You got that.
Whatever you're going to call situational play calling, I'm not questioning that. My job is to focus in on this young franchise quarterback, Jared Goff. I will worry about the offense. He's stated already he will call the plays offensively. And that's a great sign because you don't want this 30-year-old coach worrying about all phases of the ball game. Granted, he has to understand the ins and outs, no question. But he has to be able to pull himself away, and that's why he's going to hire and surround credible people that's going to get the job done, and he don't have to question it. Coach Bobby Bowden used to do that. Coach Bowden said he wanted to hire the best and let them coach.
Mickey Andrews.
Didn't worry about what Mickey called defensively. Didn't have a concern because he knew whatever he called, it was going to work.
If Bobby walked into a meeting that Mickey's leading.
Wait a minute. That's a good question. I never seen Bobby walk into our defensive meeting room.
I can't imagine that Sean McVay's going to walk into a meeting.
Bobby knew where our meeting room was. That's a great question. That never happened. I don't even think he ever.
I told you, I asked Coach Steve Spurrier once about Bruce Smith, then with the Washington Redskins. He said, Bruce Smith, defensive player, right? Yeah, you better ask Marvin about that. Marvin Lewis was the DC.
Yeah.
Spurrier knew nothing
about
what was
going
on.
Well, hopefully Sean has more success than Steve did with the Redskins.
Bruce wasn't here today? Well, where the hell is he? Somebody ought to know.